Ever wonder how prices are actually set in a free market? It's not some, complex math equation handed down by a boss somewhere. It's actually more like a giant invisible tug of war. Today, we're going to break down the actual data behind this phenomenon to understand exactly how buyers and sellers pull against each other until they find the perfect balance.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the competitive market baseline. Test excess supply at high prices, explore excess demand at low prices, find the RS300 sweet spot, and finally, unpack the self-correction logic. Section 1. The competitive shirt market, setting the baseline. So, in a truly competitive environment, no single consumer or seller gets to just pull the strings. And that brings us to our ultimate goal today, finding the equilibrium price. Basically, this is the exact price where the quantity demanded perfectly equals the quantity supplied. It's the moment the tug-of-war just stops.
All right, here is our map for the journey. This is a real demand and supply schedule for shirts. We are going to track exactly what happens to these quantities across different price points, starting from 500 rupees all the way down to 100. Over the next few minutes, we're going to extract the pretty wild story hidden right inside these numbers.
Section 2. High prices, excess supply.
We are going to test the extreme ends of our data first, starting with the sellers aggressively pulling the rope toward higher margins. So let's focus firmly on the top row, where the shirts are priced at a very steep 500 rupees.
Now, what's really interesting here is this massive gap. At 500 rupees, suppliers are thrilled, right? They're pumping out 56,000 shirts. But the consumers, they only want 30,000. So we end up with a massive surplus.
In economics, we formally call this excess supply. But out in the real world, it looks like a panicked warehouse manager. With unsold inventory literally piling up to the ceiling, sellers inevitably start undercutting each other just to clear out some space. And that forcefully drags the market price down.
So we know for sure that setting the price too high triggers a reaction that pulls the price right back down. But what happens if sellers price the shirts way too low?
Section 3. Low prices, excess demand.
Let's transition to the absolute opposite extreme, where the buyers are the ones pulling the market towards steep discounts. We're going to test a rock-bottom price of 100 rupees, and you'll see the dynamic completely flips.
When shirts are practically being given away at 100 rupees, demand absolutely skyrockets to 70,000. Literally everyone wants one. But the sellers are completely unmotivated by those terrible margins, so they're only supplying 20,000. The result here is severe excess demand.
Our source material actually personifies this data perfectly with this quote. Consumers will compete with each other for the limited quantities of goods. Just imagine that buying frenzy. You have 70,000 people fighting over just 20,000 shirts. This severe shortage actually provides a golden opportunity for the sellers. They look around and realize they can raise their prices, and these desperate consumers are still going to buy. So this excess demand naturally leads to a rise in prices, pushing the whole market upward.
Section 4. The RS300 sweet spot, finding the balance.
So the crucial point is this. High prices push downward and low prices push upward. Eventually, they have to meet in the middle. And that crucial point is right here at 300 rupees, the exact sweet spot and the perfect middle ground where this giant tug-of-war finally ends.
To prove it, let's look at the data for this specific price point. At exactly 300 rupees, the quantity demanded by consumers perfectly equals the quantity supplied by the sellers. 45,000 shirts wanted, 45,000 shirts produced. There's no excess supply, so sellers don't need to offer any discounts. And there's no excess demand, so buyers don't have to outbid each other. The market has literally found its perfect resting pulse.
Section 5. The self-correction logic, how the market fixes itself.
And this brilliantly illustrates what is just truly remarkable about all this. It isn't just about the final number, it's the underlying mechanics. Here is the undeniable chain reaction. Step 1. Prices above 300 cause excess supply, which forces prices down. Step 2. Prices below 300 cause excess demand, which pushes prices back up. And Step 3. These interacting forces converge, naturally locking in that exact 300 rupee equilibrium.
Just take a moment to appreciate the elegance of this. The interaction of these opposing forces sets the price entirely automatically. There is no central planning committee. There is no single controller deciding that shirts absolutely must cost 300 rupees. The market, completely on its own,
through the organic behavior of everyday buyers and sellers, finds the most efficient possible outcome and just locks it in.
Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder. If competitive markets naturally and efficiently lock into perfect equilibrium, correcting their own shortages and surpluses all by themselves, what happens when a government steps in and artificially forces a price ceiling below this sweet spot? What happens to our perfectly balanced tug-of-war when someone literally cuts the rope? Think about that for a bit, and we'll explore the crazy consequences of those artificial market interventions next time. Thanks so much for learning with me today.